What is up guys, welcome back. As you are slowly approaching the last week of this month, it is time for us to check out another episode of top 10 brand new free-to-play games that you can play right now during the month of August. Last couple of months has been really good for free-to-play games. There are tons of announcements happened, there are a bunch of brand new games came out, and there is no surprise this month we also got some absolute bangers to check out. And as always guys, all of these games are completely free to play right now. You can download them on Steam as well as some games on Epic Games Store. So let's go ahead and talk all about it, starting with a brand new title called Keyboard Arena. It is a free-to-play arena style of a hack and slash and action roguelike title which heavily focuses on close range hand-to-hand melee combat and pretty powerful cybernetic enhanced abilities. Right now this game works as the prologue or the demo version for their upcoming title called Keyboard, and right now the game represents only a single game mode, which is a roguelike mode where you have to fight against waves of powerful enemies with the increased difficulty over time. It does seem like a pretty polished game when it comes to certain game mechanics like combat skills, and also in order to be powerful you have to master the skill of dodging, parrying and blocking, ultimately set them up for a killing blow. It is a completely single player experience, but remember it is a very small demo version for their upcoming title. But if you're into these type of melee style of games, you can definitely check out the game right now. It is completely free to play. Moving on, next up we got Predecessor. Technically it's not a brand new game, initially released back in 2022 as an early access title, but with the recent Gamescom announcement the game finally came out in early access, now available as a fully launched title, and it is completely free to play. And it is a multiplayer third-person MOBA style of a shooter with having more than 35 plus heroes to choose from, and each comes with a very unique set of skills and devastating abilities that you can use in the battlefield. It plays pretty similar to traditional 3-lane MOBA shooters, and if you ever played any other similar games like Paragon, you're in for an absolute treat with this game. And now the game is also powered by Unreal Engine 5, makes this game one of the most visually impressive games that you can play right now. The game is right now very much popular on Steam, having more than 11,000 plus mostly positive reviews, and also the concurrent player numbers sitting more than 4,000 daily players. Overall system requirements are quite acceptable. You don't really have to have a super powerful PC to play this game. If you're a fan of single player top-down shooters, next up we got a brand new title for you, and that is called Rem. Rem is a free-to-play character-driven action game where you have to challenge and fight against gods at the same time looking for your family, and all the time you're actually living in a dream. The game has a bit of a weird but a nice backstory and pretty action-packed campaign filled with levels that are relatively short but challenging at the same time. There are a bunch of unique enemy variants in the game where you have to fight against them in both close and long range, and it's a nice combination between close range melee combat and top-down shooting. Along the way you will also learn a lot of new abilities which help you to defeat a lot of the end-game bosses. Overall it's a pretty short but a very unique single-player game. Right now the game is having very positive reviews on Steam, and surprisingly the system requirements are somewhat higher compared to some of the other games. Moving on, next up we got a pretty fun and casual multiplayer game called Ramen Food Fighter Arena. And as the name suggests, it's basically a fun little arena style of a shooter where you play around with foods, and it is extremely fun to play. And right now the game represents a bunch of different game modes, and it's primarily like a tournament style mode where you can play with up to 8 players online on 4v4. And some of these game modes are super fast paced and extremely chaotic, where you throw around different foods and using different cooking equipments as weapons. Overall it's a very simple but fun multiplayer game, but right now it is only available on Epic Games Store. It does have a Steam page, but right now you can only download the game through Epic Games. I believe it's like a time exclusive, so hopefully the game will be coming out soon on Steam as well. Definitely a fun little game to check out right now. And next up we got a pretty big one, and that is the Arena Breakout Infinite. And right now you can download the early access version of the game through their website, and it is available completely free to play. And for those who don't know, it is a tactical realistic first-person extraction shooter, pretty similar to games like Escape from Tarkov, and it's a very slow-paced, methodical, tactical style of a shooter. It's pretty hardcore and very immersive, comes with tons of weapons, gadgets and customizations to do. But after this initial launch as an early access title, the initial reviews and the feedback that the game is getting right now, it's not the most positive, and a lot of them mentioning most of the gameplay elements are pay to win. Honestly, it is pretty unfortunate because on the paper the game is a very comprehensive and very polished first-person shooter, but hopefully when the game fully launches on Steam they might change their monetization module, and we expect to see the full release of this game by the end of this year. But anyway, if you are someone who really want to check out the game right now, it is on early access. You can download the game right now through their website through a direct launcher, so definitely go ahead and check the game out. Super realistic driving and racing simulation games are very hard to come by these days, especially on the free-to-play market. And last month we got a pretty big one, and that is the Renspot. It is a hyper-realistic racing racing slash driving simulator representing collection of high performance realistic racing cars alongside real life racing tracks all around the world, and visually the game looks absolutely stunning with hyper realistic physics and dynamic weather condition. And also remember, right now the game is only available on Epic Game Store as an early access title representing 10 different realistic racing tracks, 12 different racing cars including bunch of different game modes. It is a very simulation style of a game, so I would say to get the best out of this game you need to have a racing wheel or at least a gaming controller. Keyboard and mouse ain't gonna cut it, and also a pretty powerful PC because the system requirements are very much higher compared to some of the other games. If you got the system to back it up, definitely check out the game right now. It's completely free on Epic Game Store. I know some of you guys absolutely love playing real-time strategy game, and this month we got a pretty big free one, and that is a game called Stormgate. And this is a brand new next-gen real-time strategy game set in a new science fantasy universe where you can command your mechs to defend the Earth or invade other alien factions. You can explore and complete this ever-evolving campaign completely single-player 1v1, or you can play with up to 3 players co-op, which is really awesome. And I gotta say, I'm definitely not the target audience here because I rarely play any strategy games, but I know some of you guys absolutely love these type of titles, especially if you like games like StarCraft. I'm sure you're gonna have a super fun time playing this. Even though the game is sitting on mixed reviews right now, overall concurrent player numbers is pretty decent, close to like 1400 daily players, and overall system requirements are also quite acceptable. Moving on to our number 3, we got Warhammer 40k Speed Freaks, a brand new free-to-play racing slash vehicular combat style of a game that's set in this brutal Warhammer 40,000 universe. It is an online multiplayer experience packed with tons of intense racing, dynamic vehicular combat, and tons of customization. There is a pretty good selection of vehicles that you can choose, including buggies, support wagons, and tanks, and each one loaded with powerful weapons and special abilities that you can use during the racing. There are a bunch of different game modes in the game right now, allow you to play on 8-player teams up to 16 players, and most popular one being the Kill Convoy and Death Rally. It is a very fun and chaotic racing game that you can try out right now for completely free, and the game is also having mostly positive reviews on Steam, having more than 2000 plus reviews, and also you don't really have to have a super powerful PC to play this game. Swords of Convalaria is a brand new free-to-play turn-based fantasy RPG that released earlier this month, and right now it is super popular on Steam, and right now having close to like 7000 daily concurrent players. It's a very well made single player narrative driven JRPG following the typical turn-based combat style involving a lot of strategies, and there is a pretty good amount of mercenaries that you can collect in the game, and also you can train them, customize your squad and different combination, and ultimately use them in the battlefield. Overall, it's a very well made JRPG with beautiful neo-pixelated art style, which I'm a big fan of, and also you can enjoy the game completely single player as well. Right now the game is very much popular on Steam, having more than 2000 plus mostly positive reviews. System requirements are also very much low specs friendly, so if you're a fan of JRPG game, this is a title that you should absolutely wanna try out. Alright, moving on at number 1, surprisingly we got a brand new simulation game, and that is called Supermarket Together. And this is a super fun supermarket simulation game that you can play completely solo, or you can play with up to 16 players on co-op. And let me tell you guys, if you got a bunch of friends to play with you, you can split the workload among them that allow you to manage the high demand of the customers that comes in the supermarket. There's a whole set of skill board that allow you to unlock different franchises and different perks in the game, and ultimately allow you to acquire more shop space, storage, and different extra facilities for your supermarket. It's not only about managing and selling different items on your supermarket, you also have to keep a very close eye on shoplifters that comes in your shop, and you can catch them red-handed and kick them out of the shop, which is something extremely fun to do. And surprisingly guys, it is one of the most popular free-to-play games that you can play right now on Steam, having close to like 10,000 reviews, and they are very positive, and right now having close to like 30,000 daily concurrent players, which is absolutely insane. So if you're a fan of this type of simulation style of games, you absolutely don't want to miss out this one. Definitely go ahead and check out the game right now. Well, there you have it guys. I hope this video helped you to find some of the best brand new free-to-play games that you should play right now during the month of August. And if this video helpful to you guys, don't forget to go ahead and drop a like, subscribe, and stay tuned to the channel because we cover tons of brand new free-to-play games every single month. So I'll catch you guys soon in the next one. Stay safe.